With regard to child support, it's important that you're aware of basic information as far as what's considered income, what's included, what the court's going to take into account in determining these types of things. Many people go to child support court without representation. A lot of people retain the Department of Human Resources to pursue child support collection for them. And if you're the unrepresented party, it's important to have basic knowledge, about what's included and what's not, and what can affect the bottom line that you pay. Income, let's start there. Under the rules that govern child support in Alabama, basically any money that you receive that's not some kind of need-based government assistance is considered to be income. So that's wages, salaries, bonuses, overtime, commissions, rents, anything that's considered to be income. One of the top questions I get from people is, well, my overtime's not guaranteed, so I don't want it to count. If you've consistently made overtime, it's going to be included. Unless it's an isolated incident, it's going to be included if it's typically a part of your income. And that applies to both parties. Both parents, the mom and the dad, their income comes into account. Child support is determined in Alabama by Rule 32 of the Alabama Rules of Judicial Administration, and essentially it's a chart. It pretty much is what it is. What's taken into account is the income of both parents, a monthly health insurance premium for the benefit of the child or children that's paid, that's at an actual out-of-pocket cost, and work-related daycare. Health insurance costs that's incurred for the benefit of the minor children is another factor in child support. What the court is going to look at in determining that is the actual out-of-pocket cost that you pay. And the number that they will use is the whole monthly premium. And that is without regard to how many people that are on it. So you can have your new wife, her kids, there can be 10 people on the health insurance policy, but the court does not prorate it. The whole amount is included. In looking at daycare, the state of Alabama promulgates another chart that has the maximum figures, weekly figures for different metro areas around the state that's allowed to be included as daycare. Typically, the maximum figure on that chart is going to be used as opposed to your actual cost, because most people's actual costs far exceed the maximums on that chart. The key with daycare is it must be work-related daycare. So if you're a stay-at-home mom and you send your child to Mom's Day Out 2 times a week, that's not going to count. It has to be for the purpose of employment. Family law is sort of a wider-reaching term that applies to all issues that affect families in a serious and profound way. It's bigger than just divorce. You have child custody, visitation, child support, alimony issues, adoption. If domestic violence is an issue in your family situation, there's petitions for protection from abuse. And when you're choosing an attorney, I think that you really want to select somebody whose practice is focused on the area that applies to your legal need. And I think this particularly applies to the world of family law, because when it comes to family issues, it's sort of it's more sensitive. And really, it's next to losing your liberty or your life and going to prison. Things that happen to your family are the most important things that are going to affect anyone. And you really want to select an attorney whose practice focuses on family law, because a scorched earth tactic is not going to be in you or your children's best interest in the long term.